it would be an amazing opportunity to be there when they win the game. Of course, the risk is you, Jonathan Fernley, who is not a netminder, would have to go in if Ben Bounds got injured and suffer the humiliation that would follow. Do you do it, or do you let the proper backup go in?
So what you're basically suggesting then is, do I want the personal glory of being part of a winning team at the risk of costing my team victory? Because Can we sort of agree then that if they actually had proper backup, Tom Murdy, they would win the game? They obviously can't win with me in because I wouldn't save anything.
Yeah, I think with Tom Murdy in, they've got a significantly better chance of winning. They're always going to risk Ben Bounds in this scenario. He's always going to be risked. He's got, I would say, let's say he's got a 90% chance he's going to make the game.
Oh, so if the percentage is that high, I'm definitely going on the bench. But
really?
I'll take a 1 in 10 chance that I'm going to have to play. Oh, that's going to be terrific. What a good experience that'll be. But once you start edging it towards 50-50, being on the ice in the playoff final or the Challenge Cup final, that'd be a great thrill. But I'd like to do it for a minute and face one shot from a long way out that I've got plenty of time to see and no traffic in front. I'd love a career save percentage of 100.
That's called doing a Neil Edwards, what you're describing there.
Neil never got onto the ice, though, because he backed up for Sheffield at the start of 2 games at the start of a season when Jeff Woolhouse was hurt. So he was drafted in as an emergency goalie, like we have in the NHL. Now, obviously, Neil has some netminding experience from rec days, and he didn't play in the first game, and the idea was hopefully he'd get some ice time just for a few seconds in the game in Dundee the following night. Unfortunately, Mustakovs was on a shutout, so didn't get the chance to go on. Now, Neil was never going to be a significant part of those games. It's a different decision here, because there's a very good chance, or, a 10% chance, that I'm actually going to be needed for 50 minutes or more.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be embarrassing. Because they can't take me off. There is no other netminders. We know, all hockey fans know, how much fun it is to get on the back of a goalie playing badly. I cannot imagine being on the ice at the NIC on playoff final Sunday afternoon, live on Free Sports, on the BBC Red Button, whatever it is, and having 20 put past me. That'd be awful.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault.
For the next 50 minutes or so, it's all my fault. Of course it is. That'd be dreadful.
But you take it in a 90% chance.
Oh, I take it in a 90% chance.
Yeah.
But once you start getting towards 50-50, there's an embarrassment factor that I'm not sure overcomes the thrill of being part of the team.
You see, I would have put my tolerance significantly higher. If Ben was like 99% fine, I'd be like, yeah. If it's almost guaranteed I ain't playing, yeah. But 10%, 1 in 10, that's not particularly unlikely either. There's a couple of universes where you're definitely playing in goal and being humiliated.
Well, we get the story of the NHL emergency goalie. The league provides one at every venue, just in case there's an issue with netminder injured in warm-up or someone that's been called up from the AHL's had the flight delayed or whatever. And it's very rare they actually get onto the ice for meaningful game time. It happened to Chicago last year.
Yes.
And
that was the first instance of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, when the starter got injured, and so they had to play part of a game which was, with 7 minutes to go, potentially still up for grabs. Now, obviously, these are players who've played in goal before. They have some experience. Neil Edwards had played in goal before. Hull had a backup for a while as well, who was just a ball hockey goalie. But at least he had been in goal before.
He knew what the pads were.
I'm going to struggle to stand up out there. So, I don't have any ability at all. So, it's going to be really difficult to stop even the most basic of shots. So the team's going to have to play so well in front of me to limit any shots getting through that it's just almost going to be impossible to win.
Which is why I'm so surprised you would do it in a 90% chance.
Because I'll take 9 out of 10 as a probability. I'm a math teacher. I like those odds. I'll take that risk.
Yeah? Just to be on the bench when the moment happens.
Yeah, 3/4. Yeah, the numbers are still in my favour. I'm probably not going to be needed. Also, even if there was a 50-50 chance that he's going to get hurt, maybe he gets hurt in the third period and there's only 10 minutes to survive. And Cardiff, being good, are already 3 goals up by this stage. Maybe they can just keep the puck down the other end and not let many shots through. Might be able to hang on. So I'm not... It's because the chances of me needing to play a long period of time aren't necessarily guaranteed. So I'll take my chances, whatever the probabilities are in my favour. Because I don't want it to be all my fault. Yeah. You know...
Can you imagine what the locker room would be like when you turned up? When it's 51% chance he's not gonna get injured, Murdy's there, and you turn around and go, "No, I'll take it." Can you imagine what that locker room would be like?
I can't. No, it would feel so awkward. But you know, it's quite a fun story. It's all very light-hearted when the emergency goalie actually gets to sit on the bench for a bit.
I mean, he got a shutout, that Chicago lad, didn't he?
Yeah, it was against the Jets, yeah.
Yes, it was. I wasn't going to bring that up, but I'm glad you did.
No, he had a 3-goal lead, 7 minutes, and he faced 9 shots, and he turned them all back. I tell you, if the Jets are having 9 shots on me, I'm not saving any of them. And that's not because I want them to win, it's because I'm not good enough to stop them. So suddenly that's a tie game, and then I'm involved in overtime, which is, well, you know, that can't possibly end well.
I always remember reading Neil's blog about his experience, actually, because he wrote about it quite well. And he talks about practice, because they just needed somebody for practice after Jeff got injured. And I think it was Neil Abel wandered over to the pad 1 at I Sheffield and just said in that very broad accent of his, "We need somebody to help out, you know, doing some rec work. You know, doing some practice work." And he goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." So all he thought it was going to be was a practice session. And he calls it the most intense 22 minutes of his life or something like that, where he just got schooled. You know, where he just got taken from pillar to post. And this is the boys in practice, you know. Just almost going easy on him. And it's incredible to think that somebody who has that netminding experience would still have such trouble playing at a professional level. And I think it's so unique to this sport that position is so experienced. I think only quarterback could it be so technically obvious that you've not played or you haven't played at a professional level. Because I mean, even if you played, you know, again looking at soccer, you could play in net for 70 minutes and nobody really knows you're not very good. You know?
Here's the thing, actually. I've never played quarterback in my life. I've never played American football in my life. I've never stepped foot onto an NFL pitch. I reckon I could do a passable job learning the playbook and running the offense for a drive.
You know, you think so?
I know my limitations. I've not got a strong arm, but
in any way,
I can play action. I can throw a screen. I'll throw a shovel pass in there. You know, I could run for a drive. I'm not going to win as the game because I can't throw downfield. I've not got a strong enough arm. But I reckon I could just about get away with that.
Okay.
But the skill set required to move around like a hockey goalie is completely alien to me. I can do most things on my feet. I can't do much on my skates.
I'm sure we've said this already on the podcast, talking about George Weah's cousin, twice removed, who ended up playing for, was it Southampton for a couple of games? And we've talked about him on the podcast. But he survived an incredibly long time when it was obvious he was not a professional footballer. Yet it would be incredibly obvious within about 30 seconds that you are not a professional ice hockey player / netminder, and I think there's not many sports where it would be so obvious so quickly that you're out of your league, literally.
But we've just got to balance that against the one thing that we all want to experience, and that's being part of a championship-winning team. Celebrating a championship in the stands is brilliant, but every single person in the stands wishes they were down on the ice having been a part of it, and they were the ones getting the medal. It's really hard to turn that opportunity down.
And Neil Edwards even got a medal, didn't he? Because they won the league that year.
Yes.
And the club arranged for him to get a medal because he was part of the team, which I think was a lovely, lovely thing to do, to be fair.
I'd love a championship-winning medal. They tend to not give them out to commentators. So this might be my only chance of glory. So, Sorry, Tom Murdy, you can have the mic. I'm going on the bench, whatever it costs the team. That's it for another episode. If you have any comments about the issues we've discussed or suggestions for future hypotheticals, then tweet us at HockeyHypo, and make sure you leave us a comment and a rating wherever you're listening from. On behalf of Stephen Dowson, this is Jonathan Fernley saying goodbye.